Here we're going to be taking a look at the Playscale Toy Story 5 High-Tech Edition Buzz Lightyear. Part of those new Buzz Lightyears, the army of them we saw in Toy Story 5. Even though this is the high-tech edition of Buzz Lightyear, and it's a decent representation of that guy, this is not a high-tech figure. You know, this is a Playscale figure that is on the cheaper side compared to your mainline Buzz Lightyear figures, the regular ones that you see at Disneyland that have the features you would want from Buzz Lightyear. This one does not have that, but when I saw it in Walmart, I actually thought it was a decent representation of the high-tech Buzz Lightyear in terms of the coloring, the mold. In fact, there are some things about it I actually prefer to the mainline Buzz Lightyear figures, and I'll showcase that comparison in just a bit. And for the price only being like $9.97, some weird price like that, I thought it was an okay pickup. There's only one of these guys left, and there were a whole lot of Woodies left, so I think people just really wanted to get the high-tech Buzz Lightyears, the kind of new figures that we saw in that movie. So you see with this guy, as a Playscale figure, there's really not much to the box, not really a box at all, just a little plaque of cardboard that you get just to hold the figure down. So you get a great look at the figure. Toy Story 5, big 5 in the back, and you see all of the figure, the high-tech Buzz Lightyear. You see that, like I said, in terms of looking at it, it's a nice representation of high-tech Buzz Lightyear from Part 5. Posables, got some posability that will showcase off in terms of your basic articulation, which you can see, showcase or see right here. Can't really see anything from how his knees go, but we'll showcase that once we actually get him untied. You turn around the back, you see more of an image of the guy, showcasing some of the posability you can do. High-tech Buzz Lightyear. Unfortunately, you can see that his back jetpack piece is missing a whole lot of paint apps that you would want. I mean, the front looks okay in terms of some of his missing paint apps, but this part right here is pretty bad if you ask me. More Toy Story 5, lily pad on the back. And yeah, not much to the whole packaging, so we'll go ahead and open this guy up. So all there is tying this guy down are some really thin and clear rubber bands that you can just cut right off here around both arms. Oops, there we go, got that one. Got the one up here, and just one joint one around both of his legs. And with that, this guy should slide right, oh, I forgot, yeah, so this jetpack piece, it's really weird. It's kind of hunched over the cardboard, so it's kind of preventing, there we go. I guess it's not that bad. So you pull him out, and you got Buzz Lightyear High-Tech Edition from Toy Story 5. And like I said, for a cheaper figure, I think the mold is fantastic. Looks like just how you would want from Buzz Lightyear, as well as having the key differences from the Buzz Lightyear we know from the first few movies. As far as the color scheme, the most notable difference, obviously, is the Star Command symbol that you see in the chest. It's not obviously a screen like how it is in the movie, but this gets the job done. I like the kind of how it's highlighted, the blue silver Star Command symbol, the black in the background. I think it looks pretty good. Hopefully eventually they could do a high-tech version where it's an actual screen and all that. But then also the color scheme. You know, the color scheme I didn't really notice until looking at images after the movie, that his green color scheme, this is a darker green than the normal Buzz, as well as having some kind of like glitter effect to give it more pop, I guess. And then another difference is the black part that you see in this waist area almost has kind of like a tire-like texture to it, whereas normal regular Buzz is just kind of smooth, kind of accordion style. So you'd have that kind of tire texture right there. You have it up here also. Unfortunately, this is like the most noticeable paint app missing from the front, as far as this shoulder piece should be black like the normal Buzz and the high-tech Buzz. You don't get that here, so they kind of cheapened out when it came to that, unfortunately. But in terms of your other things, I mean, before we get too much into the paint app, showcasing his basic articulation, because that's what it touts right here, that he is posable, not just a stiff figure. Can turn the head around 360, just like your normal Buzz figures. The arms, solid articulation, can go up, back, elbow, and then your hand articulation can just really do a swerve, can't do any kind of up and down. Better than nothing. Should be noted that on this side, his Star Command wrist communicator can't flip open or anything like that, but that's not really surprising. I guess that brings up another paint app. Well, we'll go into the paint apps after. And then for his legs, oh, does he have a swivel? Okay, he actually does have a waist swivel going on, so that's pretty nice right there. And then he's got his knee that he can go up and down. But unfortunately nothing out of the foot, so you can't get any kind of ankle pivot or go up and down. So that does kind of limit some of the poses, ideal poses you would want to do. Now, as far as, I guess we'll go into looking at this. I mean, like I said, I think the mold looks really good. But as far as the paint apps that are missing, obviously, we talked about the shoulder piece up here. That should be black. The circle joint connecting his I guess bicep area to his forearm, that's gray. It's white here. It should be gray. Doesn't have the green. That should be on the top of the wrist. No purple on the fingertips. What else don't we have? Oh, and then yeah, these pieces right here, these kind of pieces right above his foot, these should be green, so they cheapen out on that as well. But I don't think it looks terrible from the front. It's just the back where it's like, Jesus Christ, man. Just blatantly in the center here, this purple piece, nothing. Then the details down here, and then on the wings, not the every other white and red separation you would see on the jet exhaust. So that's unfortunate. But like I said, there actually are some things about this mold and this figure, even though if it is a, Playscale and not exactly a high-tech Buzz Lightyear figure, there are some things I prefer about it when it comes to its sculpt. To showcase that, I want to bring out the normal mainline Buzz Lightyear figure. And here he is. Oh, got to pull the camera back a bit to get a better view of him. There we go. And he should stand up just fine. Oh, Jesus. There you go. There's a better look of him. So this is the normal mainline Buzz Lightyear figure that, I guess, to be honest, I've only seen at Disneyland, this edition of Buzz Lightyear. But you see, it's actually a much bigger figure, and it does have all the features you would want for Buzz Lightyear to be able to do. Shooting the laser, the
slingshot maneuver is all we've got. Full speed ahead.
His catchphrases that he can say through his electronic buttons, of course, the jet, the wings, all that stuff. And obviously the paint apps are just much better on this one. But to show a comparison, something that's really cool is that you can see the differences as far as the color scheme on how the high-tech edition Buzz Lightyear does have a darker kind of green going for it, as well as you can see kind of the other stuff, like if we angle down a bit. Like I said, this guy's got more of the tire texture, where this one in the center is more just kind of normal, smooth, almost like a slinky accordion going around his waist. So nice job they did on that. But as far as the features that I actually do prefer on this one, I think the color scheme on this guy, his head, looks, this high-tech Buzz Lightyear looks way better than this one. This one has just kind of a weird showcase, taking the helmet off, this kind of pinkish hue that's going around the head, which isn't accurate to the movie. You notice that this one has just more of a normal kind of color. This one, this pinkish color, I don't really love that. As well as I prefer the eyes on this guy just being open. I don't like this kind of halfway closed, almost kind of smug look this Buzz Lightyear has. I think hopefully eventually they can do a version where it is just kind of accurate to the movie. I don't know why they don't just do that, where it's got everything you want as far as the eyes and then the face and then the skin color. For some reason, they just don't do it the way that it should look, unfortunately. Maybe it's because if they did that, there'd be no room for improvement. But I just think they could do a better job when it comes to that, even though this guy still is nice. But something else I actually do like, and it's kind of a give or take kind of thing, I do like that this guy has the feature where how it doesn't have the helmet. It's just because in the Toy Story movies, after the first one, Buzz is seen much more without his helmet than with it. He only puts the helmet on when he's like going into a rough situation or a battle, almost like how Optimus Prime does with his face mask. This guy for the helmet, I mean, the helmet's a great look, for Buzz, but unfortunately you can't. I wish this version you could go like all the way to take it off. Maybe that's just too high tech for toys these days. It would have to be probably a super expensive figure to get it to go all the way back, but hopefully eventually they can find a way to where you can go either full helmet or just get the helmet clean off to give him, you know, the look that he's seen with more of in the sequels. Because this halfway kind of thing doesn't really do it for me. So this guy, when I have him out, obviously it's just full helmet because I don't like the non-helmet look. Or the halfway look, I should say. But this guy without the helmet, like I said, I think it's a good look for him. And even in the Toy Story 5 movie, this guy was seeing, the high-tech buzzes were seeing surprisingly a decent amount without their helmets, even though they were in their Space Ranger delusional phase. So that's nice. But it becomes clear once you see more of these guys together, you know, the paint apps that are missing that you would want from this guy on the shoulders, even the buttons that I forgot right here, the purple button that would control the helmet, and then it's more apparent when you take a look and see on the back just how much paint is missing. The purple in the middle, the karate chop action, the jet exhaust logos that you would see. Oh yeah, I forgot the gray. Don't really see much of the wings in the back, and then obviously you see the red, white, and blue completely missing from this guy. But this again is a cheaper figure, so obviously not as much money is going to be spent in the paint apps. Another fun comparison to showcase off, another Buzz Lightyear. It's going to be this guy. This is a Bubble Wand Buzz Lightyear that I actually found at Disneyland, and I decided just to keep it. See, it's got Buzz Lightyear, and almost kind of like a ride kind of vehicle, and you press the button on the back. Hear the sound and bubbles. See if you can see some of the bubbles coming out. Here you can see a few of them are coming out. Yeah, it's a fun kind of bubble wand where the jet exhaust is bubbles coming out. So you can have some fun with this guy. But the paint apps actually on this are surprisingly pretty complete as far as what you would want. All the buttons, symbols on the left, the shoulders, the joints, this elbow joint is the proper color, unlike this guy. So it's kind of give or take in terms of what kind of resources they put into coloring and all that. Oh, he doesn't have the red, white, and blue, the red and white on the wing side. But all in all, in terms of paint apps, this guy is actually pretty decent. The main thing that's not very good on this one, you see on my right, this elbow or the eyebrow right here. I don't know if that's just damage that happened over time, but that doesn't look very good. Those paint apps are just kind of smudged on the top, unfortunately, if you can see it. So that's unfortunately not all that good. Well, no, this is a fun little one right here. So you have all these guys together. You can have your own unique army of Buzz Lightyears going along. And again, it kind of highlights the difference in this guy. Just that this green color scheme is very noticeably different. But I'm glad they put a good amount of differences in this guy, just besides the chest, to highlight its new generation toy version of Buzz Lightyear. So kind of cool having all of these guys together, No Way Home style. So this guy, for the price you pay, I actually think is a pretty decent little pickup. I think the mold is great. It looks fantastic. In some ways, I prefer some of the features to the mainline Buzz Lightyear figure that we saw. Like I said, I think the face sculpt is just really good. It's got decent posability as far as getting him into the basic poses and stances you would want from Buzz Lightyear or any figure, to be honest. And at least for the paint apps, I think the front looks pretty good, and definitely that green is just perfect, and I really like the color that they went for the face compared to the mainline Buzz Lightyear figure. But some of the paint apps are pretty poor. I mean, you see the back is just really cheap looking. It's missing so many paint apps that you would need, so you'd need to do some custom work to get this guy looking how you'd want to. Hopefully eventually they can do a proper high-tech edition Buzz Lightyear figure that's, you know, the proper height and scale that you would want to go with some of your other main Toy Story figures. And even if it could have the special wing feature that came with it, that would just be unbelievable. This guy doesn't have anything like that because he's not a high-tech figure by any means. But for the price of only $9, I think it's a decent little pickup, and, you know, could have some fun with it if you don't want to pay the hefty price that some of your bigger Toy Story figures could be. So for $9, he's not bad at all. I'm happy that I got it. So that'll do it for this review of the Playscale high-tech edition. My goodness, Buzz Lightyear. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.